Welcome to the Mystery School of Feminine Arts. This is Yana Good, and in this magical video I will explain to you the information that is important to know for every man and for every woman. How does sex and money play out in a relationship between you and your beloved, also in your business and in your socio-economic status. A lot of the time people dream about making a lot of money or meeting that perfect beloved, but if they don't understand the law of the magnet, the law of the perfect vibrational compatibility, they are going to be wasting their time in empty dreaming instead of doing what it takes to do to get their dreams come true. So first, I will reveal to you the 7 levels of that men and women go through in their evolution in one lifetime or maybe in many lifetimes. And then I will share with you what you can do to increase and improve and heighten your levels so that your life can actually change. What you will learn in this video will actually explain all of your relationships. You will be able to see in a completely new light why some relationships worked, why people cheat, why people leave. And that will give you a tremendous peace of mind and a closure on a lot of the things in the past. Because once we understand what is truly going on, and if we can do something about it, then there is no more problem, right? Since the ancient times, men and women have fell into different castes, into different categories. Also pay attention how that is correlating to the chakra systems for those of you that are aware about that. So there are always the poor, the lower middle class, the upper class, and the ultra wealthy people. And the people that actually change the world, the Nobel Prize winners, the people that leave a mark in the history of mankind. What makes them different? What fuels up his genius? And why do they always say that behind every great man there is a great woman? Or if a man is going through difficulties, usually there is a woman behind that, or the lack of her, as a matter of fact. So let's take a look at how the energy works, because as Einstein said, if you want to understand this world or the mysteries of this world, you must think in terms of energy and vibrational frequency, because that is a constant and that rules. Where the energy goes, life flows, attention flows, abundance flows, fame flows, sex flows, everything turns around the energetic frequency. A lot of energy, a lot of everything. Low energy, miserable life. So are you ready to discover and find out what level you are at right now, and also how to change the level that you're at if you so desire? With that, I want to tell you a couple of secrets that I've discovered from the geishas, that there are 4 powerful elements and each person has a formula of the soul. The 4 elements are the fire element and the air element. Those are the masculine energetics. The fire element corresponds to the man's sexual energy. It is his testosterone. The higher his testosterone, the higher is his fire. So more magnetic, powerful, charismatic the man is. The higher his fire is as it comes up, his kundalini rises, then the more air he has. The air element is his mental and spiritual aura. It is his upper chakras. It is his connection to the divine and to the cosmic and to the universe and to the energy of inspiration. So like a hot air balloon, the more the fire, the higher the balloon can fly. So also think of it as a cross. So the masculine energetics is the vertical. Now I'm not talking about it from the perspective of a man or a woman. Within each man or a woman They're all the four elements. Within all of us is the inner man and the inner woman. In fact, most of the women operate nowadays as the inner man. And so they actually run on fire and air energetics. They exercise as a man, they do yoga, which is a practice for men. The fiery elements, the masculine elements, is linear. It's going and accomplishing a goal. It's going from A to B in the fastest possible way. It is a mental energy of thinking, overthinking, analyzing, judging, figuring things out, being logical. All of those qualities, if you have as a woman, that means you're operating from your left hemisphere, which is your logical masculine, so to speak, hemisphere. But your right hemisphere is your sensual hemisphere, is your ability to visualize, to create, to feel, to tap into the invisible, into the unknown, the magical world that can only be felt and experienced. So the feminine energetics within a man and a woman are expressed in a vertical position, and this is the energy of the earth and the water. So if you think about the energy of the earth, it is round, it is dark, it is warm or cold, but the earth element is all inclusive, very powerful. It gets you rooted, it gets you embodied, it gets you feel safe, stable and secure, and it corresponds to your first chakra, your sexual energy as a woman. Yeah, in a man it's always the testosterone, his fire turns on, but in a woman the earth element is your actually connectedness to your feminine powers of the earth empress. So the other element we have left, and that is the water element. The water element is corresponding to your second chakra, and it is your emotional body, your ethereal body is actually the earth, the water element. And that corresponds to the feminine sexual energy. The hormone is estrogen. So the fire is testosterone, the water is estrogen, and the earth is progesterone. Why is it important for women especially to understand? Is because I have the most amazing program, a womb healing program, where I'm teaching a woman how to heal her emotional body, how to disconnect from all of her past lovers, and also how to turn on her sexual magnet so that she can balance all of her hormones and always operate from the feminine energetics so that she can embody the feminine. And that is very important for the relationship, to keep that spark up between the man and the woman. Dual sex, in the ancient traditions, if you remember that sign of the yin and yang, where you have these two halves, one dark with a small white dot and one white with a small black dot. Well, the secret of that symbol is that a man has to operate in 75% in the light. He has to operate in the fire and the air element because he's the sun in this universe representing. And 25% is his water and his earth element, so that he is also connected to his inner woman, his feminine element, his sensual element. And the feminine energy, it's circular. It is like the earth, it's dark, like the water. If you throw anything, like right now I live in Thailand on the water, and when I throw like anything into the water, it immediately starts to create circles. So feminine energy is the circular movement. It's the movement of the universal energy. Everything goes like this. It's a spiral, you know. The masculine energetic is direct and straight arrow, so to speak. So that's why it's vertical, representing going towards the sun. And the feminine is the horizontal. Her job is to become deeper, wider, juicier, more and more rooted, more connected to the power of the earth, and filled up with the feminine, sensual, sexual energy of the water, awakening her Aphrodite. And in this way, they're both, when they come together, they get to experience the magic of 100% masculine and 100% feminine. They create this alchemy of becoming together, the alchemy of the 4 elements, because she brings the 75 in the earth and the water, and he brings the 25, and together in that intimate moment of orgasmic oneness, he gets to experience all of it, and she gets to experience all of the air, all of the fires through him as well. So I hope this formula makes sense. There are different concepts about it, and sometimes in the Tantra tradition they choose to go 50-50 and create a balance. I disagree with that. Why? Because it's about creating that sexual charge that ignites and starts all the relationships. No matter what we say, when we say, I want him to fall in love with my soul, I used to say that all the time when I was all in my spiritual practices, and my womb and my sexuality were completely shut down because I was a scared little girl. I'm not opened up in my feminine, and I had no idea what it is. And I thought, when I meet the right man, then I will open up. No, it doesn't happen. When you open up, you meet the right man, because it's like the bee and the flower, yeah? If the flower is closed, the bee is going to circle around and say, oh, beautiful flower, but there is nothing in it for me. It's going to continue to circle until it finds a flower that is open, so it can connect to its nectar and make honey out of it. The job of the bee is to make honey. So it's not going to try to get into a closed flower and try to open it up. So it is your job as a woman to open up in your sensuality, your sexuality, connect to your goddess divine, and then become that magnificent woman that will attract the greatest man that is right for you, right? So the same goes for the men. When they're looking for the woman that will charge them up and fill them up, it is natural. He's a hunter and gatherer. He's always looking for the best woman he can get. But at the same time, I want to remind you, gentlemen, that we as women are very selective as well. The more beautiful and filled up we are, the more powerful men we desire, because we deserve. So it is important for you as well to actually work on opening up in your magnetism, in your masculinity, raising up your fire, increasing your air, so you can dazzle us with your brilliance. You know what I mean? So let's get back to the 7 levels. I want you to remember that the 7 levels are applicable to all the 4 elements. And when all the 4 elements within one person are accomplished and harmonized, then we enter into the 5th element, the ether. And this is the domain of the geishas. They were able to, and a geisha means a person of art. And so they are able to transform the external environment, which is the masculine, the matrix, through the internal balancing of the 4 elements. I was blown away why the aristocracy, the emperor, the richest businessman in Japan won't start any project without an audience with a geisha, which would cost an enormous amount of money. Is because the geisha can read the formula of the soul of the man when he walks. By the way, I can do that as well now that I've studied it. I am pretty accurate. So when a man enters in and they understand how high or low is his air, his fire, his water, and his earth, then they have these powerful ways of balancing him out and bringing him back into his highest space. They give them the wings to fly and charge up his dream with that powerful feminine potency that creates this world, because everything is created in a woman, in her womb. So all of her powers, all of her energy lie in there. Man actually is born in the womb of the woman, and then he is seeking to marry a woman in whose womb he will feel home again, nurtured, supported, excited, free. Yeah? So it's all in the feminine energetics. However, today I will speak about the 7 levels only from the pure perspective of the fire element as the feminine testosterone, representing the feminine sexual energy, and the water element as the feminine sexual energy, because that's what activates the magnet and creates the alchemy. How is the alchemy of love created in a relationship? You see, when a man sees a woman and he feels her, it raises his fire. He feels excited. He's like, I want her. I want her. You know, when you watch the shows, for example, A Bachelor, I watch it as a psychologist from a perspective of curiosity. To one man, they're given 25 beautiful women, but only one he can choose at the end. So how does he choose that one? You would think he would choose the most beautiful, or the youngest, or the richest, or the smartest. No, that's never is the case. To my surprise, a lot of the time, the most beautiful girls are gone at the very beginning of the show. It's that je ne sais quoi, that's something that ignites him, that he connects, that he feels with her, that he feels activated and charged up. So men make that decision basically by their excitement, yeah? So if she lights his fire, he goes, I'm interested in her. And so what happens, the woman feels his fire. She feels that excitement that he's projecting into her. And if his level of fire is the same as hers or higher, based on that is going to depend her sexual response to him. Her water will start slowly getting warmer and then boil. So if you can boil her water, so to speak, then they want to get together. And during intimacy, what happens is his fire enters into the water of her womb, boils it up, and the third element, this is where the alchemy happens. It's the water. What happens to the water when it's heated? It becomes a vapor. It becomes air. So now the third element, this oneness, this them, it's no more him and no more her. It's now the alchemy of the both of them. Now that vapor is moving up through her chakras and comes up into her heart. And here she feels, I love you. So really, love is a very hormonal thing, you know. If she gets all this activated and her hormones are rising, her heart opens up and she's like, I love him. That's why he can be, you know, different size, shape, money, and whatever. And it's if his fire hits her up, this energy from the heart then goes into her head and she's in love. Change that dynamic and she doesn't love anymore. We don't truly fall in love with a particular person. Everything is in our emotional body. Love is an emotion that flows through our body, activating our hormones, you see? So as this alchemy is created and in her heart the love opens up, then this becomes a field of love around her. And then he's bathing in her field of love, and then his heart connects and also opens up in love. And he goes, I feel home with this girl. I feel amazing. He experiences this magic of we. And he goes, wow, only with her I feel this thing. What is this? Is this love? I think this is love. I love this feeling. You know, if her energy is high enough, meaning if she has a lot of water and she can create a lot of vapor and share it with him, if her field is strong, then that goes into the head, and now he feels excited, ignited, and brilliant. And then this is how you create the magic of making all of his dreams come true. Ladies, pay attention. Now, before you guys go to bed, if this is your beloved husband, he's going to share with you what he wants to accomplish next day at work, or what bothers him, or what he wants. So once you are in this space of love and your heart opens up in love, then you take his dream and then you bathe it in your love and you make it happen already in the fine and inner world, in the ethereal world. And then in the morning, he goes out. He doesn't have to understand these processes. In fact, man, you don't have to believe a word I say. But I know that you have experienced that with some women, everything starts to bloom and blossom. And usually that woman excites you to no end. She makes your blood boil, and you want to conquer her, and you want to be next to her, and you call it, I'm in love with this girl. In reality, you're in love with how she makes you feel. And then everything goes well. The money, the universe, everything just works out so well for you. And you are with a woman, maybe you've been married for a long time, and the fire is gone, and her sexual energy is low, and she's not feeding you, she's not in love with you, or she's not sharing with you her sexual energy. And everything starts to go down, literally, together with your, inner man. So is your finances and your creativity and your energy. Everything starts to go down. So that's how we're powerfully interconnected, and understanding how to choose your perfect partner is very important, but also knowing how to raise your energy up is the key. And that's what I teach in my school, both men and women. So now I will share with you finally what I have been promising is the 7 levels. The level 1 of the man. First I'll explain it in a man, and then in a woman, and then how it works in the relationship, okay? So for men, the first level of fire, it's like a candle. So imagine you have a house, it's cold, it's dark, and you want to make home, right? You want to get married, you want to play family. So you bring into this cold, dark house a candle, and you put it in the center on the table. How much light and heat this candle will generate? So I'm sure your answer is very little. So it's gonna only lit up all around itself. So the level 1 man is not really a marriage material. They will usually say, well, I'm not ready for it, So the level 1 man energy is usually enough only for survival of himself, and he doesn't do very well with coping with life. Usually their money goes up and down, they're always struggling, they will work for a little bit, they will generate some income, and then they go down because their energy cannot sustain them long enough, and now they need to be on somebody else's couch, or this is the beggars on the street, the people that you always need to save them, all of this stuff. So now you don't need to judge them. They're not lazy. They can be very beautiful. In fact, I met a lot of beautiful, gorgeous actors and beginning actors and models. They're actually level 1. They compensate the lack of energy with a beautiful external looks. A lot of the time they'll create this 6-pack and so forth, because every man wants to be admired. Every man wants to be recognized for something. So either with intellectual things, or with money, or with physical body, but somehow he wants to be noticed and recognized by the woman and by the other man. So with level 1, you will not be able to create family, and you won't ever be able to create a successful business, no matter how talented they may appear to you occasionally. They simply don't have enough the gasoline to get to the point where you need them to go. So imagine you have a car with 4 cylinders with half a tank of gas. So half a tank of gas can take you, let's say, from San Diego to Los Angeles, but it's not going to take you to San Francisco. So you cannot be complaining about this man and tell them, you can do it, man, don't be lazy. So they go to Tony Robbins events, they go to a lot of personal development and work and sit in meditation and do yoga and all of this stuff. And nothing much really changes in their life. They can become smarter, but nothing much is going to change because they don't have the gasoline to get to San Francisco. No matter how much they study the city of San Francisco and how much they want to get to San Francisco, you need the energy to be able to do that. So very simple. Level 2 of the man is, his fire is like a fireplace. So now if you have a house and you have a fireplace, it can generate enough heat to cook a meal and to warm up the room. You can play house now, yeah? So the level 2 man is recognized by the fact that he will use such words: security, stability. This is the key words for this man, because he has just enough energy to go to work 9 to 5, have a boss, have somebody tell him what to do, and then he comes home and he needs to relax. He drink his beer, watch his TV, play with the kids and so forth. So this is your marriage material, and this is 90% in the world is men level 2 and a small percentage of level 1. They are the ones that the corporate America is built on, that all the businesses are built on. They work for salary. So if you try to involve them into network marketing or into any business, they're never gonna raise any high levels. In fact, they're gonna talk negatively about the money. The level 1 and level 2, they will say, I hate the money, I hate rich people, that doesn't bring happiness, I don't want it. They'll talk negative about it because money is simply an energy. Money is neither good nor bad. It's just a force in life. You can do anything with it. You can do a lot of good things, you can do bad things, anything you want. So, but the fact that he cannot get it, he feels low energetically about it, he is going to speak negatively to feel better about himself. So the level 2s is perfect for marriage and excellent for working for you. They need a boss, they need somebody to manage them and micromanage them, and if they're good enough, they can do it, and they have enough the energy to just complete the project or just get the job done, so to speak. Level 3. This is where it's getting interesting. Notice that's the 3rd chakra, and for those that know about the chakra system, this is the fire element. This is the man's charisma. When a man walks into the room, if there is energy coming out of him, it's a level 3 passes by. I live here in Asia and people ride motorbikes. I cross the street, and when a man passes on the bike, I already can tell if it's level 1 or 2 or it's a level 3 or higher, because from the level 3 there is a field, there is energy, there is force that is all around him, including the bike. So it's like so exciting to watch. So the level 3s, let me tell you how to recognize him. They will always have a lot of projects. They will always want to run their own business one day or now, based on their age and where they're at in life. If they're working for someone, they're in the management level. This is your middle and upper middle class. And if they're well developed in this level and mature enough, they will usually have quite a few businesses. Usually one business is not enough for them. They have, as I said, I call them fire pants on fire. It just is coming out of their ears. Usually when they're at the beginning phases and not very mature, it's all about the show. The fastest cars, the coolest girls, they love to show off and all of this stuff. Nothing's wrong with that. That's what fuels them up and excites and fuels up our economy and excites the girls as well. So the level 3, usually, if he is with a beautiful girl that is level 2, he will be cheating on her, because cheating doesn't exist. I want you to understand this powerful thing. So for men, a lot of guilt will be gone now. Pay attention. I'm going to save you from guilt. And for women, this is going to be a rude awakening to the truth. You see, if we continue to look at the man as a car, as an efficient vehicle. And so if the level 1 is 4 cylinders, level 2 is 6 cylinders, level 3 is a sports car with 8 cylinders. Now, if you're a level 2 girl, you only generate for 6 cylinders enough gasoline. So he comes into you, you sexually fuel him up, only 6 cylinders. Now, you're beautiful, you're lovely, you're spiritual. He would love you to be the mother of his children. He would want to marry you for all these other qualities that you possess. And yet, when he gets up in the morning and he feels not filled up, not enough energy, not enough fuel to get him to San Francisco, so to speak, from San Diego to San Francisco. I lived in California, so, I hope this makes sense to you. Then he's going to look for another woman who's going to fuel him up with this water element. If the woman he marries has high earth element, and she's an incredible mother of his children, she could have level 3 fire and level 3 earth, and he would love and adore her. But if her water is not level 3, he's gonna go get a lover. He's gonna try to fuel himself up with that feminine sexual gasoline, so to speak, so that he can fly. So based on either finding one woman that can fully fuel him up, if not, he's gonna have a couple of them. So I hope this now makes a little bit more sense why men cheat. They absolutely need it for survival. And if you're fueling him up, he won't be cheating. So next level, level 4. Level 4 energy is the fourth chakra, is the heart. His energy is so high that he looks like the radiance of the sun, that light, that soft radiance of the sun. When he walks into the room, there is no show. There is a deep and powerful presence. He might be wearing jeans and a t-shirt, but when a level 4 walks in, everybody knows the boss has walked in. Everybody knows a powerful man walks in. He's open up in his charisma, and he knows how to control his energy. Because level 3 doesn't know how to control it. It's like coming out of his ears. He's trying to find his ways, to channel it. But if and when he goes into the level 4, then it's a different presence. So the level 4s are usually, so if the level 3s are the entrepreneurs, they run all the small businesses, all the mom and pop operations, they're managers in big corporations. Level 4 is the CEOs of the big corporations. They have thousands of people under themselves. They will make millions of dollars because they're changing the big businesses, the infrastructure in the country, in their own region. So the level 4 usually doesn't need to show off with the fast cars and the prettiest girls. They're looking for a stable, powerful lady to marry and to represent him, because he's the king and he needs the queen to represent him. He needs a woman with high level of earth and high level of water and a good level of fire, so that she can match him up and take care of all this money he's going to bring home. Because he's going to make millions, have big estates, and he needs a woman that can manage all of that. So I'm always fascinated when I see these beautiful models, actresses, and these beautiful sweet girls, and they dream about this powerful man that is going to make their dreams come true, and they're going to just live in this luxury and do nothing just because they're beautiful and young. Usually it doesn't work out that way, because power respects power. And when he comes home, he wants a woman that also manages her part, plays her part in his dream of creating the kingdom for himself and for his country. So he needs a woman of level 4 at least. next level is level 5. Notice it's the 5th chakra. This is the throat. This is the creativity. The level 5 is the level of the international businesses. Not only has he been successful in making a difference in his own country, now he wants to take this model and enrich the world with it. He, Hilton hotels and Marriott hotels and McDonald's, all of these big corporations, they're all over the world. So the international businesses require an energy level 5. It's also the level of the politicians, the presidents. All of them fall into the level 5 category. So once your man reaches a high status financially, for example, let's take a look at Donald Trump, and I'm not looking at him from a political perspective. I don't care if you like him or don't like him. Let's just look at it as a man, and energetically, he is a level 5 man. So first he creates a business, then he creates an international business, and then he wants to get into the politics and he wants to be on the top of it and, rule the country. So it's a natural desire and progression of every man who is energetically capable to feel and think that way. And the last level is level 6. This is the level of the genius. This is where a man reaches the level of the stardom. This is the Nobel Prize winners. Money here doesn't play that big of a role for them because it's just so much of it. It's just such a powerful energetics. Abundance, they live in the space of such creativity, such abundance, that all they care about, their way of thinking is so global, so large. They're thinking how they can improve mankind, how they can leave something that for generations and generations will continue to shine their light in this world. So the Nobel Prize winner is the people that make a world different. Nelson Mandela, Gandhi. Level, this is a spiritual level. The level of these men and women that come in the level 7, they come for the soul purpose. Their reincarnation is different. This is the only level that doesn't require a partnership and a sexual energetics to continue to fuel up, expand, and grow. The rare souls that come in the level 7, they're coming in to leave the spiritual imprint in this world. So Jesus, Muhammad, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, all the saints, and the modern day saints, the people that reach this highest level of caring about the world beyond their ego, beyond their little self, this is the level 7. So at the end, I will share with you some of the questions that I've received about what determines the energy, how to raise it, how can a man, fuel himself up. All of that I will answer after I tell you about the women and the feminine sexual energy. So all of that will make perfect sense for you at the end. Women, what do you think corresponds the level 1 man, the level 1 woman? So her sexual energy is like a small cup with a little bit of water in it. So the level 1 women can be absolutely gorgeous. Again, a lot of models, a lot of beginning actresses are the level 1s. They can be very beautiful, very well put together, but if their sexual energy is low, they will experience stories like this. Oh, we had sex, everything was good before, he was courting me, or we got married and then we had sex and then he disappeared. And I don't understand what's going on. Or, oh, and he started cheating on me and I feel so hurt and I feel so upset. So usually she won't be able to sustain the masculine energetics, because what happens is his fire gets into that little bit of water, burns it up, it becomes a vapor, and nothing is left for him. And man feels tired after the sex with you. He feels that it's not enough. He has no wings to fly. He doesn't want to go back and do a hard job and work on you to get you excited. Because usually women level 1, they don't even feel orgasmic. They're so shut down there, they can't even experience that sexual energetics because there's deep traumas that happened, and I can help with that. So, it's not a terrible thing. It's all fixable. But I want you to understand that is the reason your relationships are not working out. And no amount of working on yourself is going to change that. And no years of waiting for the perfect man, for that great man, is going to change any of that. Because the great man and the perfect man requires a lot of sexual energy. So if you don't have it, you don't have him. Simple. Level 2. The level 2 woman is like, so if he is a fireplace, then she is the well. So she has enough water. So if you have a house, you have a fireplace and you have a well, so you've got water, you've got fire. You can cook, you can clean, you can play house now. You can have children now. So the level 2 woman has enough energy to be beautiful, to take care of herself, to share it in sex with her man, to have children, to take care of the children, and even do some part-time jobs. But if a woman, the problem of the well is it's only filled up until, maybe she's 30, maximum 35. So usually people think that women get older with age, the biological age. That's not true. A woman is based, her feminine is based on her hormonal system. Not how many years she has lived, but how are her hormones, her female reproductive system is operating. If she's continuing to charge enough energy, and she's always young, because she's always sexually potent and filled up, so she can bear children at any age, she can fuel a man at any age, so it all depends from that sexual energy. So the level 2 women are wonderful in their youth, and then what happens with the well, it starts to drain the water. So each child takes out a lot of energy from the woman, and then she doesn't have it for the man. That's why usually she will have a postpartum depression, or she doesn't want to have sex with the man, is because she's not lubricating from inside. She doesn't have enough estrogen to excite her, so she has nothing to give to him. And a lot of the women, they fake orgasms to sustain the relationship. They'll say, oh, even if I have a headache, I still give myself to my husband. I go through the pain of it. A lot of women never have experienced orgasms. And then they think, what else he wants? What's the problem? Yeah. Well, he wants energy, not the fake. He wants energy to fuel up and to go function as a man. So faking is only destroying you, your psychic, your body, and it certainly is not going to help the relationship to be. Maybe you will stay together if he's level 2. The level 2s usually don't divorce, because neither the man nor the woman have the courage, have the energy to go. They're like, I don't know if I'll ever find anybody who will love me, so this one does. Let's go together through this, no matter how difficult this is. Let's just stick together and make it work together. So the level 2s usually will have just enough money for maybe one vacation a year, and over the time, that spark in their eyes, the love, they will say love ends. Love doesn't end. No energy, no charge, no spark, no the word called love. Levels 3 women, her energy is like a lake. Now, when she meets the man level 3, the fire pants on fire, jumps into the lake, and there is enough water to sustain him, and enough water for her to start boiling. Yeah? And then together they create the businesses. If a man marries a level 3 woman, she will always have her own business or do something. Why? She has enough energy. She has enough for herself, she has enough for her husband, she has enough for children, and she has enough to either help him build his business or start her own little project together. So all the mom and pop businesses are usually built on the level 3s, and they usually stay together for life and do really well as well, is because it's comfortable together. How will 4 women is like a river. Now this is a very powerful space for a woman to be. The energy is flowing through her, and here it's the most dangerous time for the woman. If for the men, the most dangerous part is the level 3, because if too much fire, if it's not properly channeled by a woman, his mother or his beloved, then he, instead of creating something great and becoming successful, can become mafia and a killer and this and that, because all this fire has to go somewhere, you know, so either in a destructive way or in a constructive way. So for the woman, the level 4 is the river element has enough fire in it, has enough movement in it. And if she goes into developing this energy, moving it into her inner man, into the business, she's going to be very successful. In fact, if you compare men and women of the same level, level 4 in businesses, usually a woman will do much better than the man. It's easier for her to succeed. She has more powers than a man does because she's a womb. She can regenerate herself. Yes, on her moon cycle, she can experience the laws of energy, but then when she's rebuilt again, she's like, so powerful. So if she chooses to channel this energy into her feminine energetics, into her inner woman, then she will be happy in love and in business. Because if she chooses the masculine way, this is where it's so sad when you see all these powerful, beautiful women saying, oh, men are so weak, I intimidate men, you know, men are too feminine nowadays, it doesn't work out, all of these complaints. It is because she is a very powerful presence in her masculine. For example, Hillary Clinton, she's a level 5 lady, but she is in fire, she is in the masculine energetics. Her inner man is a level 5. So her inner man is a president potential. But the reason she didn't get selected is because if you are in the feminine body, we expect you to be in the feminine energetics. And since she didn't embody her inner woman, neither women nor men could fully trust her, because she cannot make her man happy. And if she cannot fulfill her mission as a woman, then she cannot fulfill her mission as a queen. Because to be able to take care of the people of the land, she must be the queen in her feminine energetics, fully opened and developed. And if she's with the level 4 man, then they're going to create a powerful, sustainable business that will blossom and make, you know, a lot of goodness in this world. The level 5 woman is the level of the sea. Her energy is like this powerful sea, because the river flows into the sea and into the ocean. And the level 7 is the ocean. So the level 7 again is that spiritual level that doesn't really require the masculine energetics, but up to level 6 is what we're here talking about. Oh, sorry. So the level 5 is the sea, level 6 is the ocean, and the level 7 is the soul, is the spiritual level. How does this truly work? The level 5 man is always looking for the level 5 woman, and the level 4 man is looking for the level 5 woman. Why? Because the level 4 and the level 5 require a tremendous growth, tremendous energetics. So if they find a level 5 woman, they're going to adore her. But they will also settle for a level 4 woman, and they're going to love and respect her as well. Now remember this, if you want to understand the dynamic in a relationship. If a man meets the woman on his level, so let's say level 3, level 3, level 4, level 4, he is going to respect her, love her, honor her, but he's not going to be crazy about her. Rarely he will be like, oh my God, I just cannot wait to marry her. A bit about the dynamic of relationships. So when a man falls in love like crazy about you, so if he's level 2 or 1 and you're a level 3, he's gonna act crazy. And we call it, oh, he's so in love with me. Well, your energy fuels him up to no end. He loses his head, and he's willing to do anything for you and to conquer you in any ways he can. Why? Because if he's with you and you fuel him up, he's gonna rise up to that next level faster. Because the man can change and increase his energy through 3 ways. The simplest way, the easiest way, is through the feminine energetics. That's why in the past, when men would go to war to conquer other countries, they would go and rape the women from the other countries. Why? They're taking up all that feminine sexual potential and fueling themselves up. That's why the soldiers, they would go for the war, so they could get the sex and the gold that they can, take from the other countries. But the other way a man can charge up is through doing energy practices. So this is through Qigong, through the Tao practices, the Zen practices, the Qigong practices, the martial arts, anything that is working with energetics, meditations. They learn how to raise their kundalini, how to open up their chakras, and how to fuel themselves up. So that's a hard way. The monks, they take 10, 20 years really to build a womb. They build like this lower energy field that they can fuel up with energetics. So it's tough. That's why God has created a woman. So it's easy for the man. She does her job, he does his job, and then together it's magic. But that's another way for men to raise his sexual energy. And the third way is through actually working and servicing. But it's difficult. How can you unconditionally be in service of the world when you're constantly in a survival mode? How can you truly give if you don't have enough? It's very difficult. So sometimes they go become monks and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, why don't you make one woman happy? Instead of walking all alone with your head, without the hair and all of this. And I'm not making light of the spiritual journey, but to me, I feel that God has created a man and a woman. Hey, your job is to make one woman safe, secure, and happy, and her job is to fuel herself up and share with you the magic of life. So if both are doing their jobs, then together it's a magical life. Nothing to search and wander around and look for the mysteries of life when it's all right here in the alchemy of being together. So if a man meets the woman on his level, so let's say level 3, level 4, level 4, he is going to respect her, love her, honor her, but he's not going to be crazy about her. Rarely he will be like, oh my God, I just cannot wait to marry her. If other factors are in place, then yes, maybe they're out of the same college, their families agree, like a lot of other things, then maybe yes. But in general, a man's deepest dream and desire is to reach his highest potential. So he's always looking for the gas station that can fuel up a rocket, not just his tank in a car. So they'll actually use these words. I kind of felt that now she will be good for me, but in the future, I don't think she can sustain me, she can keep up with me. So a man is always looking for a higher level woman, because with her, he can reach his dreams a lot faster. So that's the little mystery for you, why with some women, men can date for 10 years and then he meets a girl and he marries her right away. She's a higher level. Women sometimes say, oh, I prepared him and then he leaves me, and then he goes, well, now you know. It's not because you're good or bad, it's just because this is how the law of the magnet works. We are always attracted to the bigger magnet because then we can expand as well. Another question here that comes up is, why would some men and women be born with a level 1 or 2 energy potential and some 3, 4, 5 and so forth? What is the reason behind that? Well, the reason is behind the moment of inception. If your mother and father are level 1, when they're connecting, there is not enough spark not enough air, not enough energy. So the new soul that comes in, it's also gifted with a low energy field. That's why it's generations through generation. They're kings, they're pharaohs, and they are artists, and then they're also the people that just are the poorest people, and they go, oh, my father was like this and I'm gonna be like this, and so forth. They simply not enough energy spark in there. Also what happens is if they have been drunk, they could be high level energy people, but if they've been drunk or on drugs, so alcohol or drugs, or it was sex without the love, without that mind-soul connection. So during that divine moment of ignition, there was no love, there is no desire of creation, then it's happened by accident and or in an unconscious ways. Of course, the new soul that comes in is not going to receive that divine spark that happens. So the creation of children is a truly alchemical and magical process, and it's so important, especially for women, to remember is do not give your body lightly. Do not engage in casual sex just because you feel lonely. You know, it is very important to give your love and to receive the love, because you might be creating a life force and you want your child to be most potently charged and make a difference in this world, right? You want your child to be happy. So very important. So thank you so much for your attention. I hope this information was extraordinarily helpful and interesting, fascinating and entertaining. And if you want to find out how to increase your energy, if you want to know how the relationships work, and if you need any help, I invite you to my website, yanagood.com. And if you're a woman, I invite you to go through the schools, through the 3 steps, where you can actually heal, empower, and grow your feminine energetics and create a happy life for yourself and your beloved. If you're a man, and you require a private session, or take a look at the men's programs that are coming soon. Yeah, if you need help, I can help. But otherwise, I hope you like this video and share it with your friends. Thank you for everything, and create a magical day. You deserve the best because you are the best, and so am I.